to the board. Individuals speaking to the board shall address remarks to the chair and may direct questions to individual board members or staff meetings only with the approval of the chair. There will be a public comment period at the end of the workshop, talking about the items that are on the agenda. The total time that will be spent on comments will be 30 minutes for the meeting. Individuals that wish to speak should sign a form that's on the table, I believe in front of you, Mr. Moon. Okay. You will be given an opportunity to speak 2 minutes, and there will be no action taken by the board at the time of whatever you speak about. So if we may begin the agenda, please. Does anybody have any questions on the board minutes? Moving on then to A, under the approved agenda. Mayor Barrett from Altamont is here, and she is going to be addressing the board at the regular board meeting as concerning land acquisition proposal. The next item on the agenda is the gym painting bids. You have 2 bids. Joel, are you familiar with either one of these companies? Okay. Dr. Gurley, would you like to address the bids for the paint of the gym, please?
Madam Chairman, we had 2 bids before you. One was from Walker General Contracting and Maintenance. The other one was from Ross Service Corporation. You'll notice a difference of about $50,000 in between the 2 bids. While I am intrigued by the $25,000 offer, I did meet with individuals that submitted the bid. This will be the first job of this size for this group. They told me that there would be 2 people performing the actual painting of the gym. They are bonded, they are insured, but I do have some reservations about turning that project over to 2 individuals to complete.
What about the other company? Do you know anything about that?
They have several jobs that they have performed and several things that they have done. I think they have a larger crew that could perhaps do the work.
Board members, you've had time to look at that. I hope that you have questions at this time about painting of the gym. We're talking about the upper gym and the lower gym, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Any questions, board, any discussion? All right, then let's move on to item C, which is the surplus of furniture and lockers from Tracy City Elementary. Any questions, any discussion about that? Dr. Gurley, how will they surplus them, please?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
What will they do with these? They just throw them away because they're old, or
No, these will be discarded.
Okay.
Any questions, any discussion? Would you like to move C up to C under general consent?
Yes.
D is the Tennessee trip request by Jessica Lusk. If you will notice, one student, I believe, is going, one adult. And this is February 25th through 27th. And it's in Murfreesboro. Board, any questions, any discussions on that? Move it to D under consent. That can, everybody's, okay. E on the agenda is the Skills USA Leadership Conference trip in March. Any questions? Any comments?
Does he tell how many chaperones he's got going?
I was looking, to my knowledge, I don't even think there's the number of students that are going. Do you see that? I don't think. Okay, I know for the next thing, FBLA, that there are 30 students going. Okay, so. Yes, the 15th, 16th, 17th in Chattanooga, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. We don't know the number of students or the chaperones.
I'm not sure he'll have another chaperones.
Yes. So we can, right, I had thought about this. We can assume that Ms. Helton will make sure there's enough chaperones to go for that.
They're not very young because they had to have competed at another level in Vermont.
Okay,
I think there's a couple of quality development
okay.
in
So we're talking about less than 10, and we're talking about at least 2 chaperones,
Oh, yeah.
if not 3. Okay. So board, what do you want to do about E? Move it to consent. F is the FBLA field trip. 30 students, I believe I read. Yes, approximately 30. Who is the adult? Ms. Foster, is she the primary sponsor?
Sean Lewis and
All right. We're talking about 3 chaperones, approximately 30 students.
they'll have to do a competition there.
Yes. Yeah. All right. Any questions about that? Move it to consent. G is the Beta Club Summit in Gatlinburg, I believe. Miss Pam Warren at Tracy City Elementary does that. An overnight trip. Again, did anybody see the number? I had looked and did not. Beth, in the past, how many have gone?
It depends really at the elementary level. When I was a part of that and we did it, there were times we took 20-something kids, but I will say this, unless something has changed, and I don't want to speak to it because my children are both in the high school program now, we always required parents to attend with the elementary students, and they stayed in the room with their students.
I thank you for reminding me, I remember that. So that will tell you about the elementary. Any other questions about the Beta Club trip? Move it to consent. H is the technology surplus. Looked at that. Any questions? Move it to consent. Yes? Yes, it has. I is the surplus automobile bills. Any questions and discussion?
Out of curiosity, is it always just a 30-minute window to do these, like how that always works, or?
Pardon me?
I said, is it always just a 30-minute window for bids like that, or is?
So they, you have to advertise
Yeah.
the bids, and then they can turn them in anytime up until that point.
Oh, that makes more
And
sense.
you have to open them at that specific time.
Okay.
Okay.
I don't have a problem, I'm just curious.
Yeah.
That's why we have workshops. Any other concerns there? Move it to consent? Yes, no? Okay. Oh, no, it can't, I'm sorry. No, it can't, it has to be, it becomes B on the agenda because there's money involved, I'm sorry.
See, right?
Madam Chairman, that would be C.
C, yes, I'm sorry. I was Payne's B. That is all that we have on the agenda. Is there anything that the board members have to discuss, Brenda?
I would like to take it up and talk to Darlene, if we could come up with a date and time for the community that link of fans to Comont School to be able to pick the fans up.
Okay.
I sent out a text message, but I never received a response.
Dr. Dudley, will you need to check with Bart about when he's available for that, or
What fans are you talking about, Madam Chairman?
the fans that were moved into the gym to dry the floor, is that correct? How many's there? 4 or 5?
I'm not aware of any fans being moved in Colmont.
There was a text message that was sent out to the whole board, and you was included with the message. We never
The night
received-
that I left Colmont, there were no fans. That building was locked.
No, the
So
building
did
was not
somebody
locked.
go in the building afterwards and put fans in that building?
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
The building was not locked, the door was left open.
Did maintenance open that building?
No, it was left open.
So people went in our facilities unannounced?
The door was left open.
That's not what I asked.
The community did, and we.
I don't know what fans you're talking about because I haven't been in there since I got sick from being in that building.
And if you want, go ahead and pass this down. And we actually tried to call you that night, even tried to get 911 to reach you, to let you know that we was in there cleaning the water up. And that the community had brought fans out there to see if you could take and come lock the door. And finally, 911 called Bart. And we got Bart to come up there and actually secure the building because it was not secured and there was water still coming out the door.
Where was the water coming from?
It was on the floor. It was
Because
left.
before we left, we had pushed that water out of that building.
Well, there's videos on Facebook that you're more than welcome to go out and look at.
I'm not on Facebook, Ms. Dodge.
Well,
But if you'll just tell me what fans are in there, we'll try to get them out of there for you.
there's 5 fans or 6 fans, an extension cord.
Just send me an email to that effect and we'll see what we do to get them out of there.
Okay, and while we're on that, I would like to take and know what kind of policy we have in place or what we plan on doing from now on when something like this happens. Because there was numerous calls from 911. I took and just passed down the 911 law where they could not get a hold of anyone. And the phone log for the contacts has not been updated. And it was over an hour before they could get someone to come and lock the school.
I think while you're setting those parameters, perhaps you ought to the board should look at what parameters they want to put in place for sending employees into a building that's been deemed dangerous.
So we
Because
should
you're
just-
risking the livelihood of employees every time they go in there breathing that poor air quality and the facility structures that are in place. If I recall, Mr. Bennett sent an email to the board in 2022, 23 about making a decision on what we were in fact going to do with Colmont, whether we were going to continue to spend money to take care of that building or to completely do away with spending money on that building. Right now, I've got a bid that's a little less than $6,000 on repairing sprinkler systems in that building. We had to go in there, had to send a group in this week to repair a heater that is out. And I think the board needs to decide if they're going to have individuals sign waivers as a form of protection, or they're going to continue to assume the liability of sending employees and/or individuals outside this district into that building without prior notification.
Okay. The night that the pipe busted, I know that there was a maintenance guy and a tech that took and swept some of the water out before the community actually went up there and took care of it. What kind of waivers did they sign?
I don't know of any waivers when you have to respond to an emergency, especially when you're getting multiple text messages and phone calls from individuals saying there's an emergency in a building. We just respond like first responders and go in the building.
Okay.
But you're all aware of the conditions of that building because you have seen the facilities assessment. And you have noted this in previous meetings that building is no condition for employees to be in.
So there was actually a fire alarm going off, and nobody is allowed to enter that building, but there's a fire alarm going off. That's the reason everybody was there, because there was a fire alarm going off in the building.
Including the fire chief.
Yeah, there's still a fire alarm that went off today. Like I said, the board's got to make a decision on what y'all want to do with those buildings.
So why is the
If
keys
you want-
been changed that nobody
If
can
you
enter
want,
the
if you
building?
want to upgrade those facilities and that stuff in there, we'll be more than happy to continue to take care of it. But I'm at a point where I can't continue to ask employees to go in there.
Do our fire chief and our sheriff have manual keys to the common?
I talked to Gene day before yesterday, as far as I know he does.
No, he does not.
No,
And that
nobody
came
has.
straight from his mouth.
I'm not privy to y'all's phone calls.
This came straight from the sheriff and.
Okay, I talked to the sheriff yesterday about his key card.
I didn't
And
ask
he
about
talked
the
to,
key
he
card,
talked
I
to
asked about
Beth.
manual key.
He talked to Beth about a key card, and I didn't know anything about him not having a key card.
They had a key card.
He said
but
that,
the
he
system
said that
went
he
down
forgot to
Friday.
remind me that he needed one.
So if anything else happens to come on, like another water leak or anything like that, we're just gonna let it sit there and just assure it?
I don't know what we are gonna do. I don't have a vote in that.
Okay, I mean,
That's something for the board to decide. I would probably talk to your attorney first.
Okay. What are you gonna do about updating the 911 list?
If 911 needs an updated list and reaches out to me, I'd be more than happy to do that, but I can check on that.
Dr. Burley, all the emergency people have,
It's in the EOP.
it's in our EOP, my number's in there, her number's in there.
They called every one of you. They got
called every
contacts,
one.
and they called every one
That's not what I'm
of
talking about. We have an emergency operation plan that we met with all the fire chiefs, all the EMS, the 911 operators, we're all in the same room. I have a list of their phone numbers, my number's on it, their numbers are all on it. They might have forgotten that they had that, but everybody's numbers are in there. Cell phone numbers, secondary numbers.
Can you reach out to them and make sure they have an updated list? Because it was over an hour before they could get a hold of someone to get in there to take a check on it.
Was it Central Dispatch call?
Yes.
I will talk to them.
Thank you.
We meet with them yearly.
If you need a copy of the law, we got a copy of the law.
I think we have a copy of that too.
Appreciate that. The next thing I have, where are we at on doing the evaluation with TSBA? Have we reached out to them? Because I know after the 30-day time limit, have we reached out to them?
Do you remember the email that Scott had sent back to us?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, after, with him sending that email, I want to make a recommendation that on the 24th and 25th of March, that we take and have a retreat with TSBA to take and narrow everything down and get the evaluation started as soon as possible.
All right, you're talking about March.
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
And I've already checked with them, and that's the 2 days that they have available.
I have spoken to Scott because there were some things that he said needed to be in that evaluation due to Dr. Durley's contract. Scott can meet with us on the 25th day of February to discuss that if you would like to, and then after that, if you want to go to TSBA,
We would need to make a decision on that, to go ahead and have TSBA come up and do the retreat, because that would be next month and we would need to do it, so we would actually need to make a motion tonight.
okay, so are you saying, you're wanting the motion to meet with Scott in February, and then the motion to meet with TSBA in March?
Yes.
All right, are you contacting TSBA and setting that up, or do you want, who do you want to do that?
If there's someone else that could do that at this time, it would be better. If someone else could handle that part of setting it up. It's going to be a retreat with TSBA.
Do you know the length of time?
We can do it all day.
And you're talking about what day?
The 24th or the 25th, whichever day would be best for the board. In March. That way we can get this evaluation going as soon as possible.
Did you say both days or one?
No, just one day. Whichever day would be the best for the board, the 24th or the 25th. I just think we need to get on this evaluation as soon as possible.
I can do either day in March.
And I just need to know which day so I can go ahead and plan it out.
Ms. Lewis, what day did you say that Scott would be available to meet with us?
25th of March.
He said February 25th.
I would love for Scott to be able to be at this retreat if possible.
He sent me the email that says, I am free on the 25th and perhaps on the 26th, but it would have to be in the morning. I assume he can come in the evening on the 25th. He did, because I said, are you available at night on the 25th? And his response is, I can be available on the evening of the 25th. That's a Wednesday night, I believe. Is that going to disturb anybody's prayer meeting service?
What time?
Well, that'll be the board's decision.
5 o'clock. It's on a Wednesday.
We would like to start at 5.
Shayla, what time do you get off work?
Do we need to be later?
I'm fine. You can do about 6, because I mean, I'd be cutting it close with my clinics.
On the 6th.
Would that be easier on you, Shayla?
That's 7 o'clock. isn't it?
6, would that be easier on you?
6 is good for me.
You're choosing February the 25th at 6 o'clock our time?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Would you like for me to contact Scott about that tomorrow?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Tiffany, you're going to talk to TSBA?
I just need y'all, I need a date. 24th and the 25th.
24th, what day of the week?
Either day, I will need. I'll make it work.
24th is a Tuesday as opposed to 25th, don't it? All right, and we're talking about a day or a night?
All day.
All day, this is a retreat with TSBA.
We need to figure out the location for it.
That is fine.
When is spring break, Val?
Starts March 30th.
Okay, so it will not, it's the week before March. Okay. What time are you thinking? And what day is this? Tuesday, the 24th?
I think that we need to decide that.
Is it the 24th and
Either day.
What day do y'all want to do?
I prefer the 24th instead. We can't do another one on Wednesday.
All right, so contact TSBA, come up with a location and see when they can be here and email everybody. Is that what you'd like done? Okay.
Time and location.
Anything else?
I would like to put it on the agenda for us to go before the county commissioners about the health department and the getting it for the central office. Because I talked to Michael Brady February the 2nd. He said it is still available for us if we wanted that for central office.
If you'll notice on the agenda, the mayor of Altamont is also here with a proposal. What about the fact that we listen to both proposals? And then, I don't know whether we need to take a vote tonight. Maybe we just need to mull it over in our minds, or go from there, okay? Is that acceptable with you, Ms. Brown? Okay.
I know. Yeah, we still need to always put it on the agenda for the board to go talk to the county commissioners at the next meeting. I think it's February the 23rd, Tony.
Well, one of the things that we've got several possibilities, and I realize that we need to not only talk about what our possibilities are with the county commissioners. Also, I think we need to come up with a possibility of what kind of money we're talking about. Since they're our financial agency, we're going to have to guesstimate, ask them to help us with, the funds are going to have to be approved by them. So, do we go in there with a proposal of how much things are going to cost, or just tell them these are our proposals and we'll get back to them later? What do you think?
He said just come to him and do a proposal that we wanted the building. Because other people's been asking for it, and he said come and let them know that we are interested in it and want it.
Okay.
And another thing is that it won't be ready until May.
Right.
Yes.
All right, so are we making the decision tonight to ask for the health department before we listen to?
No, I mean, we still need to do it.
And so
we need to be at the next meeting.
Okay, so you're saying that we may have 2 or 3 options out there?
Right.
Okay.
Yes.
Because if you'll remember, I believe 2-3 months ago, we voted to ask a company to go across the road over here and come up with plans for a central office. If am I mistaken, somebody correct me on that?
I didn't remember it being across the road, and it's not in the minutes.
Okay.
But we did do a proposal.
Yes.
We did do a plan proposal to have Upland Design come up and tell us.
All right.
But do we have that proposal to look at? To see what they said?
Dr. Durden, do we have that proposal? I have not seen anything.
No, ma'am, we issued a PO for $25,000, and they're working on it.
Okay.
Okay, well, the lawyer emailed and said it was going to be $3.5 million.
What law?
Scott emailed me and said that there was, their occupancy. That there was a proposal for $3.5 million. y'all be patient with me.
No, it's there somewhere because I saw it too.
Yeah, right here. Signatures. Oh, wait, that's one. Shirley, can you find it? Oh, right here.
It was on 6 days ago.
Are you looking for the email?
Okay, Mr. Templeton told Scott that it would cost $3.5 million. First time I've seen that. Dr. Gurley, have you,
It was sent out.
pardon me?
It looks like it was sent out on
Yes.
February.
February the what?
Yeah.
February 9th.
Nope, I didn't get it.
That's where I'm picking, that's where I showed it was attached to. Actually, it was sent on February the 6th, but it was attached to an email where Scott responded on February the 9th. He went to the 8th.
But I don't see now on it.
I did not have it.
Well, that's what he said.
All right. So you want to put on the agenda, add to the agenda for the board, a motion for the board to go to the county commissioners? Yes, meet with the county commissioners.
So we need to get it as soon as possible.
All right, so you want to add that, meet with commissioners, and that would be D on the approved agenda, correct? Now, whom are you wanting to contact? Mayor Brady? You set this up, or you just?
Well, he said, at the county commissioner meeting, February the 23rd, I think is what he told me.
Should we not call and see if we can be on the agenda and
Yes,
everything?
ma'am. Yes.
Would you like for me to do that? You want to do that?
Sure, I can do that.
Okay. And then send us all an email telling us to make sure county commissioner again on when?
February the 23rd.
Also,
And you're going to be the spokesperson for the board, or who you want to, or do you have that in mind?
I just think it would be,
Okay, Dr. Gurley? All right, that becomes D on our agenda, or when we when we decide to approve the addendum to the agenda. Anything else, board member?
Yes, I've got two things. The first one, we need to figure out what we're going to do with cold ones for. We need to discuss it, because the cold hard truth is it's already labeled as tainted, as a health hazard, as anything, even if we went in and redid anything, the first child or the first teacher that pops up with something, that it's a liability to us. And that's the cold hard truth. There's no way around that. So we need to make a decision, because we've not made decisions in the past 6 months. So that needs to be added, so we're either going to give it to the city of Coleman, or we're going to,
Can we have a second assessment done on that building by a different company? I think it needs to be a second assessment done on that building.
did y'all get with Scott about the lease?
Yes, and he said that there was no problem with that lease, because the only problem is the lease wasn't signed that we had, and it names a company called Trinity in it. So he isn't even sure if that was the lease for that building. But he said that if that is how the lease is wrote, you have to give them 120-day notice.
So you want Comont School added to tonight's
Yes,
agenda?
please. The second one is cameras in classrooms. After the recent events across the nation, I feel like it is important. I know we've got a bill in the House right now with special education. I do know that. I know there is a lot of pushback across the state, and that came from Senator Bowling herself. But it's already passed in the House, it's up in the Senate. But I would really like Brandy to take the first step and to actually put cameras in all classrooms so that we protect our kids, we protect ourselves from liabilities, we even protect our teachers from, lawsuits and things like that. But I would really like Brandy to take that first step, and maybe that the districts across the state would actually fall in line with us. I would like to be as first of protecting our kids.
Does anybody, to begin with, have any idea how much that would cost?
Yeah. So each camera that we have hung up costs us about $900, somewhere in the neighborhood of $950.
Okay,
And that's just the camera itself. So then it has to be, wiring has to be run. We have to pay for them to be installed. And then we have to pay for camera licensing for each camera that we have every year. So right now, we're paying about $25,000.
Closer to 30.
Closer to 30.
In licensing.
And camera licensing every year so that the cameras, do what they're
You
supposed
can
to
record, otherwise.
Otherwise, they
you
don't
can't.
record and you can't go back. So
all right, so are we gonna have to have a license for every camera?
If you want to go back and see what.
if you want to be able to go back, once you think something's happened, if you want to be able to go back and view what's happened, you have to have a camera license.
Then we're talking about,
A lot of money.
what I'm thinking about, possibly if the board decides to go that route, it would have to be included in next year's budget, and if those funds are available.
Well, we can stop paying out money in sexual abuse cases like we did this year. We can do that, or we can protect our kids. There shouldn't be a price on that. Is there any way that I can get an estimate of that and we can look at grants?
Yeah, we will just need to make sure that we have accurate numbers, I guess, on the number of classrooms.
So we can go back with the cameras that we previously bought.
That would be great.
Estimate how much it might cost us for the camera, the installation, and the licensing. Yeah, and the wire, they'll have to run new wiring too, because the wiring, well, in the classroom probably don't even have the, like in the hallways and stuff, we have to run new wiring to even make them work. Also, I'm not sure that we would have the bandwidth to hold cameras. I mean, that we might have to also increase our bandwidth. We just did that recently, but I'm not sure if we wouldn't have to also increase that.
And if they pass this law this year?
If they pass the law this year, I assume if they pass the law this year, there might be some money that comes with it to help us do it. I'm also read it in the news, but I would assume, because it's very, a lot of schools don't have the amount of cameras that we have. A lot of districts don't. We spend a lot of money on that.
So, is it all right if they get the information to you and then?
That would be great.
And then put this information, not on this agenda, but the March agenda, is that acceptable with you? Will you ladies do that?
Thank you.
Do we have, oh, wait,
Anything else?
I have a question. Do we have the results of the middle school survey?
Yes, it's right in our packet. Right there. I wanted to say thank you for all of this, and I meant to go through it, but I did not. the HR newsletter, the middle school survey, all the calendars from the elementary schools and high school, what's going on. Thank you so much. I'm so appreciative of the hard work it took to do that. Now then, the survey is there. Do you want to take time to read it and then, okay, take about 5 minutes to read it and then see what comes there.
What age students were considered, what age students were considered in the survey?
We sent it to, we asked the principals to send it out. I think we said, I think it's in fourth, I think it went down to fourth grade, pretty sure. Yeah, it was fourth grade.
Okay. You went all the way up to senior high school?
Yes.
Now, I think we discussed in the past meeting that we also wanted town hall meetings so we could have the community come in and talk to us about it. We need to either schedule that or make a decision now about that. This is gonna be a lot of money. And we can see by the survey as of right now that the county wants it, the people want it.
So we may be needing to make a decision. Do we want a central office or do we want a middle school, and which one we want first?
Well, you gotta think about it. So, you know, we talk about letter grades and everything and what they look like, but what nobody has talked about is we got hit with COVID. Then we turned around and we closed the school. Then we turned around and we closed another school. Then we turned around, we didn't have a plan in place when we closed schools about overcrowding or anything like that. So education is compromised, and it's not a teacher problem, it's not a student problem, it's a board problem and an admin problem. So we're gonna have to fix this and fix it now, so these kids can learn in these environments and these teachers can teach. This is unacceptable.
You're correct. Now, what's your suggestion?
I suggest that, okay, here we go. I suggest we get the health department, put the superintendent in it. I suggest we give Commonwealth back to them because it's always going to be a liability. And I suggest we build a middle school.
You're entitled to your opinion.
How we gonna pay for it?
Well, either there would be a will tax on, we would have to vote on that, and everybody would get hit with that. Or it would be property taxes. And here's the thing. I pay property taxes. And I'm a single mom. It is hard right now, and you know, we got our county's in poverty. It is, but unfortunately, we have been forced to, and forced is the exact word for middle school, and there's nothing that we can do about it. Forced.
I think after our meeting with the commissioners, that we will have an idea from them as to what they're wanting to do with our finances and things like that, and then possibly that will guide us in our decision making.
I would like to know what the fund balance is. I have requested it numerous times by email, and it is extremely hard to make a decision on our financial future if we can't even find out the fund balance. I would appreciate it if by the next board meeting, that the board knows what our fund balance is.
Right. Anything else? Setting up the town hall meeting, are you wanting us to do that tonight?
Yeah.
Okay, we will get that, so that will become F.
Are we someone do it in each district?
That will be the board's decision.
Yeah.
I think multiple ones in each district.
That'll be the
Somebody-
board's decision.
Can't make it to one, maybe they can make it to another one.
Well, I'm going to address the elephant, so nobody wants to talk about it. Who made the decision to move the central office to the high school? Because we were not informed with that.
We had to learn about it on Facebook.
I learned about it from my daughter.
I learned about it by angry parents' phone call.
Yes.
We don't seem to never know nothing that's going on this board till we get phone calls.
Because the last meeting that we had in November, we asked when we were talking about this. I was put in place to look for places at the old high school, places in Tracy. Nelda was going to look at Tracy City Elementary. I think Shayla was going to look at Altamont. And then there was never anything else about it. And I, for one, know what Central Office looks like. Shayla knows. Y'all know. There's a video. Shayla put it on video. You can see it. Who made the decision for the central office to go into the high school? Because the last meeting that we had in November, there was 3 classrooms. I don't even know how many classrooms that were used. Teachers were moved to different rooms. Did we have the room for the teachers to be moved? I mean, there's a lot of questions in this. And I just want to know who made the decision and why we weren't, I mean, how much did it cost? How much did it cost to move the central office from the central office to the high school? How much was it?
Would you like for me to read you a statement?
Yes, sir.
Yes, please.
On January 8, 2026, there was discussion on capital improvement priorities at the GCBOE meeting. During this meeting, there was discussion regarding the possibility of moving central office to one wing of Coalmont Elementary. The next week, I was inundated with employees regarding their concern about the potential possibility of moving into a building that had been closed for multiple years. At our supervisor meeting, I asked staff their feelings regarding this location for a central office. All staff that I talked to said that they would not continue to work for the district if they were moved into Coalmont Elementary. They expressed concerns over their health and or the impact the new central office location would have on their well-being. On January 21st, 2026, Board of Education Attorney Bennett asked me for Upland Design's engineer's phone number. I sent him the contact information for Mr. Templeton via text. I also sent a screenshot of my office. This portion of the building had become significantly worse with the recent heavy rains and winter precipitations. I was asked by Mr. Bennett to reach out to Mr. Templeton about scheduling a walkthrough of that building. On the 23rd of 2026, Board of Education Attorney Bennett asked me again for Upland Design Engineer's phone number. I sent it to him. On the 27th of January, Board of Education Attorney communicated with Mr. Templeton regarding the 2023 facility study. His email said, per my voicemails, I represent Grundy County Schools. I have a couple of items I am hoping that you can help us with. Please call me Wednesday. On the 28th, Board of Education Attorney communicated with the Executive Committee about health and safety issues, central office and Coalmont. In this thread, we were advised that central office should be moved in the near future, and moving to Coalmont would not be an option for staff. That email said the following. It said, good afternoon, Madam Chair and Dr. Durley. Per your request, I spoke with Brian Templeton with Upland Design, the architectural firm that conducted a facilities assessment review in 2023 regarding some of the health and safety concerns central office employees have raised about existing central office building and the prospect of relocating to Coalmont. Mr. Templeton spoke to me after a cursory review of the 2023 report, but he will also endeavor to walk through the central office this week to better offer a more formal opinion. Mr. Templeton recalled that the central office building was or has been neglected for many years. He agreed that the uneven floors, the delaminating floors, and the leaks would all be evidence of disrepair that could compromise the structural integrity of the building as well as the interior air quality. Until he inspects the facility further, however, he was reluctant to comment on the degree to which continued occupancy might pose a safety hazard to school system employees. He had a better recollection and a stronger opinion, however, regarding Colmont. Even when the property was being used, he had concerns about water intrusion, the conditions of the crawl space, and the electrical issues. He believes that the original building never had proper drainage, which has resulted in damage to the crawl space over time, which was almost 80 years. The roof needs replacement, and there have been leaks and resulting mold growth. Note, the 2023 report did not show that the interior air quality was bad. However, that would now be the case now that the building has been closed and further given to water damage that accumulates over time. The aging electrical system poses its own dangers. Mr. Templeton believed that it would be around $17 million to possibly restore Colmont to a usable condition for the district. Meanwhile, it would have to be closed to move in and do these facilities. Based on Mr. Templeton's impression, it is my opinion that the central office staff should be relocated to other facilities in the near future. While I must defer to Mr. Templeton regarding the timeline for any move, I do not get the sense that there is an urgent safety issue until I talk to him further. I note that the board has been borrowing time on any repairs to the property for years. Very likely, we have reached a point where the risk of workers' compensation injury and or TOSHA complaints compel us to do something sooner rather than later. I will update my guidance after Mr. Templeton walks through the central office. Whether the board decides to relocate the central office, I would not recommend Colmont as a new location. Mr. Templeton rated the building a 4 in 2023. While it was still in use, meaning that it was in poor condition then, bordering on unsafe. I can only believe that the condition has deteriorated further. I will wait to hear back from Mr. Templeton before I give my impressions any further. I notified Board of Education Attorney Mr. Bennett and Chairman Lusk on this date that I would be moving my office to Grundy County High School and will be making arrangements to get staff out of the building because the electrical panel near the left side of my head was sizzling from the electrical wires and the desk was leaning against the corner of the wall due to the recent rains and winter precipitations. I notified them of that and via email. I contacted Ms. Helton. She said she had at least 7 rooms that were available via email. On the 2nd, I met with Upland engineer Brian Templeton. He performed a central office walkthrough. I informed Board of Education attorney that Mr. Templeton would be writing a letter to him. I advised the board attorney that I gathered the following from the day's visit. There were 3 words that describe central office: occupational hazard and dangerous. On February the 3rd, central office began moving into Grundy County High School.
Can you please make and read the letter from Upland Design Group dated February the 4th, please? I would like that read to the public.
I don't have it with me.
I can get you a copy of it. I'll be happy to send that straight to you.
Why has
Should be coming to you now.
Why has maintenance not been done about that building a long time ago?
Dole, you want to respond to that?
Well, I know I've been gone for 6 years, and I don't know what's happened in the building in 6 years.
Yeah, I think that building's been there since the 90s. It'd be hard to go back that far.
My main concern, and the people in District 3 would like to know why the board wasn't notified before the move started, so they could have some answers for people.
We just weren't, sounds like that, that's what he said. He said he notified the attorney and the chairman on the 28th.
Well, did you get an email?
Did you get an email?
I didn't, that's
I
what I'm
didn't
saying,
either.
I mean, he did notify though, I mean, it says, he said he notified us.
Yeah,
Did he notify you?
Yes, after the move, right.
Did you read the upland design letter that you have now? You should have it on your phone, Dr. Dirk.
Did you send it to email?
No, I sent it to your text. You needed an email?
Yeah, it'd be better, but I don't have a connection to the internet right now.
Okay, I'll send it that way.
Why can you not read it?
Because I've got a sore throat and I'm doing good to talk.
Well, I'm down here with an inhaler and been sick too, so just
You should
FYI.
have it.
I don't have a connection.
I'll read it. I'll read it. Dr. Durley, upon request, I visited the Board of Education office building on February 2nd, 2026 to evaluate recent subfloor concerns. Upland Design Group had performed facilities assessment to Grundy County Schools in 2022, of which the Board of Education office building was included. At that time, the building's foundation, the building's foundation, crawl space, and floor structure were evaluated and determined to be in poor condition. The final report identified multiple conditions attributing to the deterioration of these components. During the visit on 2/2/26, it was determined that no improvements had been made to the floor since the assessment report had been issued. There were more noticeable deflection in the subfloor throughout the building. The areas near the front entrance were the most concerning, where inadequate drainage, lack of vapor barrier, and insufficient clearance between the wood structure and the grade in the crawl space continue to make the condition worse. The building's floor structure is visibly deteriorating in areas and is hazardous to occupy in its current state. As always, please contact us if you should have any questions. Brian Tippleton.
Okay, so my understanding, in 2022, we knew about this problem and we never done anything.
Anything else, board members?
I still haven't had my question answered. Who made the decision? Who made the decision to move Central Office to the high school? I'm just asking the question.
He said he did. He said he did.
I didn't hear.
Yeah, he said he notified the attorney and the chairman that he would be moving and that they would be moving. That's what he said.
Okay.
Mr. Moon, is there a sheet of paper in front of you with comments to be made?
Just decide for those trips if you want.
All right, I do.
FBLA has 18 students with 2 sponsors,
Okay,
and Skills USA will have 2 sponsors with 8 students. There'll be a male and female sponsor for each group.
all right. Give them to me again. 18 FBLA with 2 sponsors, 8 students with 2 sponsors for the skills. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. We have no one that's signed in. We're gonna take a 5 to 7 minute break.